Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sandy from ihopediversebeauty. So today I am bringing you something that I've been working on for a while, and it is the Laneige cushion reviews. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you guys know that I've been using the Laneige whitening cushion for probably over a year, and I absolutely love it. I think it's such a great cushion for a natural finish, especially with just my personal preference. I prefer natural finish, but lately, since the weather has been changing and it's been getting warm, I really wanted to try out the other lines in the Laneige cushion brand. So I ended up getting the Laneige Pore cushion. Now, if you guys know, the Laneige Pore cushion is supposed to be meant for summer, so it basically gives you a matte finish as well as minimize the appearance of your pores. Now, I haven't ever used the pore control cushion before, but I have purchased it for friends and they absolutely love it. So I thought, you know what, I gotta try it myself, see how it goes, and I thought, why not just share you a comparison between the cushions and what I think of them and if they're worth the price. So let's get started. Let's talk about the pore controlled one, just because that's the new recent addition to my cushion collection. This cushion, I will have to say that the finish is very different from the whitening cushion. I noticed that when you first apply the Laneige cushion, it doesn't seem like it has a very matte finish. It has a slight matte finish, but it looks more powdery. So this cushion obviously is supposed to help control your sebum as well as minimize the appearance of pores. So it kind of makes sense that it does have more of a powdery matte finish, just because it's supposed to help with controlling the oils and minimizing your pores. Something that I did notice also about the pore control cushion is that it really does last quite a bit, much longer than the whitening cushion, obviously in the summer weather. Usually my makeup tends to melt quite fast in the summer, especially if I'm wearing a base makeup that is not meant to be worn in the summer. But I feel like this one really does last quite a bit. Obviously it won't last the whole day, but usually I reapply my foundation throughout the day if I want to make sure that my makeup looks good. And that's something else that you should also take into consideration, is that in Korea, a lot of the time when you wear cushion foundation, most women in Korea tend to touch up their makeup throughout the day. So that's one of the reasons why the makeup looks a lot more, I guess, put together, because they retouch throughout the day instead of just applying it once and then not touching it at all throughout. One thing that I really like about this cushion is that when you do reapply, it doesn't cake up. Now, this may vary on your skin and if you have dry spots or not, but for my skin these days, it's been working really well when I reapply, and it actually looks better as I retouch my skin, especially whenever I step out the door. In Korea these days, it's so humid and so hot, like you don't even have to move and you already start sweating. But I could see that the foundation still is staying up, like it's not separating or getting cakey on the skin. What is different between the pore control cushion and the whitening cushion? Now, as you guys know, I've been using the whitening cushion for over a year, so I feel like I have a very well understanding of this cushion. I'm actually on my refill right now, so I'm kind of sad because I really love this cushion. Now, obviously the whitening cushion basically is supposed to create more of a bright radiant complexion compared to the pore control. I feel like the pore control one doesn't really necessarily completely give me that radiant complexion. It does obviously brighten my skin, but not as much as compared to the whitening cushion. Now, also the whitening cushion does give you more of a dewy finish. So usually this cushion is meant for fall and winter, just because obviously it's dewy, and usually in the summer, dewy foundation doesn't last as long. Now, this cushion also, I feel like the way that it applies on my face is very different. I feel like the pore control one obviously has more of a powdery effect, so I feel like you could kind of see that on the complexion, whereas when you wear the whitening cushion, I feel like it looks very dewy and very radiant, and it also doesn't necessarily kind of linger on my like fine lines or any like indentation in my skin. One thing that you have to consider about the Laneige cushions is that they're very, very natural. I think that if you're looking into something that has very high coverage, these are not for you, just because I think Laneige usually just likes to pursue more of a natural, like, young woman kind of theme. So usually their like cushion foundations don't have a lot of coverage, and they're mostly supposed to be meant for women in their 20s that like to have some coverage but not that much. If I had to choose one that I like the most, the pore control one or the whitening one, I still have to say the whitening one is the one that I like the most. I feel like even though it has a slight dewy touch to it, I don't know, there's something about the whitening cushion that looks really, really nice on the skin. It just really helps my skin to look more radiant and more alive and less dull than it is. And I don't know, there's something about the whitening cushion that just really, really applies well on the skin. Now, obviously, there's nothing really wrong with the pore control one, but I don't know how I feel about the powdery setting that it has on the skin. Now, obviously, like, I'm just more used to wearing dewy foundation, so when I wear foundation that has more of a matte or a powdery finish, it's a little bit different for me. But it's still something that I really enjoy to wear, especially because it applies so well in the summer and it reapplies quite well too. It doesn't seem to cake on me, which usually the Laneige cushions don't really cake up on me, except if I'm having a really dry, patchy day. But most of them, yeah, they really, really do a good job on my skin. I also want to add that even though they're both shade 23, there's a difference between the pore control and the whitening cushion. It seems that the pore control one is a little bit brighter than the whitening cushion, but I think that also has to do with I had the whitening cushion a little bit longer, so it might have oxidized a bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick review, and if you guys want me to talk about anything else, let me know. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, thumbs up this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!